looks than swift.
It's only mathematics that say that Afghanistan are still alive. For all practical purposes, a spot in the semis is beyond them, but can they finish what has been such a spiriting campaign on a high as they take on South Africa in Ahmedabad to close out the league stage? On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Match Day, powered by Qatar Airways. Steve Harmison here to look ahead to that Afghanistan-South Africa clash in Ahmedabad. It has been such a good campaign, but we spoke at the end of that Australia game just how much it would have pinched to lose the way they did. What do you expect to see from Afghanistan one last time?
Nothing changed for Afghanistan. I think they'll turn up, have the same game plan where they'll take the time at the top, build throughout the middle, and try and capitalise in the latter part with the ball, get through the first power play, try and squeeze what is a powerful South African unit, and then use their spinners, wisely, whether it be wicket taking or containing, to try and either defend a total or obviously restrict South Africa to what would be if they bat first, something that is their strength. So a big game for both sides. It's a big game for Afghanistan to finish the tournament well on, which has been an unbelievable tournament. Jonathan Trott's men have been shining light in this competition so far, and South Africa, they'll want to keep the momentum going into the semi-final.
Should Afghanistan continue with a four-man spin attack, or would you consider bringing Fazal Haq Farooqi back in?
No, I'd stick with a four-man attack, especially in Ahmedabad, where it turns, the ground is a lot bigger. And I think from that point of view, I think I'd stick with the four spinner options. The South Africa, it'll be interesting. I don't see them changing too much from the batting department, as much as you might want to give de Kock a rest because of how many games not so much how many games he's played. He's been in the game for quite a lot of these games that have played, whether it's opener batting, getting the hundreds, and then keeping wicket. But I'd be very surprised if that happens. They've already rested Kiggies or Rabada already in this competition. They might look to do that again. I'm not so sure, but I think South Africa will want to go into this competition, into the semi-finals of this competition, with some momentum, and a win will just be what South Africa will be looking for.
Yeah, and I doubt de Kock will want anyone to keep him away, because he is on track for what could be a record haul for a batter in a single edition. 130 away from Sachin Tendulkar's mark from 2003. Just tactically, Shamsi, do you see him staying, or would they bring Gerald Coetzee back in?
I think they might stick with Shamsi because of where the game's at. Ahmedabad will spin. But I think as well as that, they might feel as though Shamsi might be better suited in the semi-final. The semi-final, when you look at playing against Australia, to go with an extra seamer, to go with the extra spin option, I think in the semi-final you'd go with the spin option, especially the way Australia have played spin so far in this tournament. Glenn Maxwell apart, they've had a struggle against spin of Australia. So I think with that in mind, I think you'd want to keep Shamsi bowling and give him another 10 overs under his belt and go with Maharaj and Shamsi not only in this game, but one eye on the semi-final. I think that would be my game plan as well.
Their batters themselves were taken apart by spin against India in Kolkata. So in that sense, that challenge of the Afghanistan spinners, how big is that, and how much of an area is that for them to work on, even looking ahead to that semi-final where they'll have to take on someone like a Zampa? Yep,
good point, and I think that is the challenge of this South African unit, that when they do bat first, or whatever time they face spin, the size of the ground will be the dimensions of Ahmedabad is a big ground, so the brute force that South Africa have got playing against spin, they might have to play a little bit different. They might have to work it around that little bit more, rather than go, basically everything's got to go, and on the smaller grounds in India. So it'll be interesting to see how that matchup goes, but I fully expect South Africa, if they win the toss, to bat first, come out all guns blazing, and whoever bowls at them, they'll try and take them down like they have done in this tournament so far, getting them to the semi-final.
Right, that's the setup done. Thank you for your time, Steve. That does it from us. Build up to the game begins 5 minutes before the toss on Maruti Suzuki Arena. Presents ESPN Cricinfo Match Day, powered by Qatar Airways.
stunning looks, then swift.